Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel and never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon, find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Miami Marlins vs Atlanta Braves. Max Fried is expected to return from the IL and be on the mound for the Braves in this contest. On the season, he has a record of 7-5 with a 3.08 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, and a 95/34 KBB ratio in 18 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .227 against Fried. Edward Cabrera is expected to start for the Marlins. On the season, he has a record of 1-3 with a 6.65 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, and a 56/26 KBB ratio in 10 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .247 against Cabrera. Atlanta has the pitching edge in this contest and the edge on offense. The Braves have not put up the huge numbers they are used to offensively, but this is still a dangerous lineup. Atlanta will win this contest by 2 or more runs. Take Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 runs. While Fried has been very good this season, he could struggle in his first game back from the IL. Edward Cabrera is expected to start for the Marlins. On the season, he has a record of 1-3 with a 6.65 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, and a 56/26 KB ratio in 10 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .247 against Cabrera. Both starting pitchers will struggle in this contest. Despite missing Acuna, Albies, and Harris, Atlanta has a good batting lineup. They should fare well against Cabrera. This will be a higher scoring game and the over will hit. Take the over 8.5 runs. Milwaukee Brewers vs Washington Nationals. Despite their losing record this season, Washington has been a solid bet against the spread in 2024, winning 55.45% of the time. The Nationals excelled while playing in Washington last August, winning outright at a 66.7% clip. The Nationals have won 3 of their previous 4 matchups with the Brewers, including 2 of 3 in Milwaukee last month. They also took 2 of 3 from the Brewers the last time they met at Nationals Park. Brewers batters hit a lean .206 with a .320 slugging percentage during their last series in Washington. The Nationals came out on top in 4 of their last 6 games at home against Milwaukee. The Nationals swept the Cincinnati Reds at home in a recent series and took 2 of 3 from the Cardinals in St. Louis last weekend. The stats and trends strongly support a Nationals victory at home on Sunday. Take Nationals to win. Parker let up 5 runs in under an inning of work in his lone appearance versus the Brewers. Milwaukee has an elite offense in 2024, ranking in the top 5 in batting average and OBP, in the top 10 in slugging percentage, so they have the tools to score quickly in bunches. 3 of the previous 5 matchups between these two squads went over the run total, with 30 runners crossing the plate during their 3 games set last month. Brewers hurlers have struggled at Nationals Park recently, producing a bloated 5.40 ERA with a 1.54 WHIP in their prior 6 games played there. Washington's pitching staff has allowed 4 runs or more in 8 of their previous 10 games at home. They generated an ERA north of 5 and gave up 10 hits per 9 innings in their prior 10 contests in Nationals Park, so look for the Brewers to have ample opportunity to score. Washington's pitching staff ranks in the bottom half of the league in multiple key categories, including 24th in ERA with 4.65, and they also have their issues while pitching in front of the home crowd, ranking 23rd in WHIP. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair in the 3rd game of the series in Washington on Sunday. Take over 9 runs. Toronto Blue Jays vs New York Yankees. Jarrett Cole is coming off extended rest for this start and is still one of the best pitchers on the planet, while Yariel Rodriguez is trying to find his footing as a starting pitcher. The Yankees have been one of the best offensive teams, and the Bats have seemingly woke up in the last week of action as they are averaging 8 runs in their last 6 games. The Blue Jays are not going to have the offense to keep up, so go with the Yankees to win by multiple runs. Take New York Yankees minus 1.5 runs. These teams have been struggling on the mound since the All-Star break, as the Blue Jays are 27th in the sport, with a 5.98 ERA, while the Yankees are 23rd in the majors with a 4.95 team ERA so far. With these teams each showing the ability to score runs at an outstanding level in the first 2 games of the series, there will be a lot of offense throughout both lineups. Go with over 9.5 runs in this game as the better option. Kansas City Royals vs Detroit Tigers. There is a significant difference between what the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers have been doing throughout the season. When looking at the pitching, Michael Wacha has looked dominant, as he is 4-1 with a 2.48 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP in 40.0 innings, while we do not know what to really expect out of Brian Sammons in just his third career game. The way these teams have been pitching since the All-Star break shows a difference, as the Royals are 8th in the sport with a 3.49 team ERA, while the Tigers are 21st with a 4.50 team ERA in those games. Go with the Kansas City Royals to secure the road win in this game here. These bullpens are taxed, as the Royals had to get 6 innings while the Tigers needed 8 innings out of the relievers. Even without that, the Royals are 20th in Major League Baseball with a 4.23 reliever ERA, while the Tigers are right behind them in 21st with a 4.24 bullpen ERA up to this point. These teams come up massive when they have runners in scoring position throughout the year, as Kansas City is second in the bigs with a .835 team ops with runners in scoring position, while Detroit is tied with the Cincinnati Reds for 6th place in baseball with a .809 team ops in those at-bats. All in all, go with over 8.5 runs in this game as the better option. Go with over 8.5 runs. Baltimore Orioles vs Cleveland Guardians. The home-road splits for these starting pitchers have been a telling tale, as Corbin Burnes is .502 with a 2.89 ERA and a .185 batting average against in 65.1 innings, 10 road starts, while Gavin Williams is 0-3 with a 7.24 ERA and a 1.83 WHIP in 13.2 innings, 3 home starts so far. These offenses in the last 15 days have shown a gap between how these offenses have been performing. Baltimore is scoring 5.5 runs in their last 14 games, while Cleveland is averaging 3.69 runs in their previous 13 games played. Go with the Baltimore Orioles to pick up a win to wrap up the series here. These starting pitchers as of late have been doing very well, as Corbin Burnes is 3-2 with a 3.13 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP in 46.0 innings during his last 7 games, while Gavin Williams is 1-3 with a 3.72 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP in 29.0 during his first 6 starts of the season. Both bullpens have been doing well throughout the course of the season, as the Orioles are 14th in the sport with a 4.01 reliever ERA, while the Guardians lead all of baseball with a 2.51 bullpen ERA so far. Go with the under 8 runs in this game as the better bet. Chicago White Sox vs Minnesota Twins. Chris Flexen will take the mound for the White Sox in the final game of this divisional series with Minnesota. Last week, he allowed 2 runs over 6 innings in a no-decision Monday against the Royals. The right-hander collected his 7th quality start of the season and was in line for the win before the Sox bullpen melted down, which they have done all year. The Twins can hit the long ball, and that has crippled Flexen this year. Although he did not give up a homer last week, he had given up 10 over his prior 9 appearances. Minnesota has won 10 straight home games against Chicago. Take the Twins to deliver a big early blow and come out with a multi-run win. The Twins will start Simeon Woods Richardson in the finale of this series. He pitched on Monday against his former team, the New York Mets, and it did not go well. He allowed 6 earned runs and 10 base runners, both marks setting season worsts. I expect Minnesota to hit Flexen hard in this one, and as long as Woods Richardson serves up a couple of runs to the Sox, this game will go over. The total has gone over in 10 of Minnesota's last 12 home games and 13 of their last 19 with the Sox. Take the over with confidence.